A little settlement once existed on the edges of a large forest. Because of the bizarre beliefs and myths associated with the forest, the people lived in peace and harmony, never going too deep into it. Yet, one day some adolescents made the decision to explore the forest against the locals' cautions. The air became colder, and the trees more twisted and gnarled as they moved further into the forest. The group experienced an indescribable feeling of fear as their footsteps reverberated through the unnerving silence. They stumbled into an abandoned old mansion that was completely covered in darkness. They gingerly entered the mansion, their hearts thumping in their chests, despite the overwhelming sense of fear. The furnishings were worn and outdated. The rooms were covered with cobwebs, and odd noises could be heard coming from behind the walls. They came across the previous owner's old diary while they looked around the estate. The owner had used black magic, calling forth demons and other ominous beings to carry out his will, according to the diary. The more they read, the more they came to understand that the home was still inhabited by the ghost of its former owner, and that it had not been abandoned. The kids were confronted by the spectral presence of the previous owner when the home suddenly erupted in a piercing scream. The doors and windows were locked, making it impossible for them to flee. They were terrified and tormented by the phantom figure for hours on end, to the point of madness. When they were about to give up hope, the ghostly apparition disappeared, and the mansion's doors and windows opened. They came to the realization that the mansion had been a hallucination, and that they had been held captive in a nightmare from which they couldn't escape as they stumbled out into the daylight. They eventually all made it back to the community, bruised and disturbed by the ordeal. The horror of the black magic and the spectral figure persisted, plaguing them for the rest of their lives even though they never mentioned their trip again.